how do you use ChatGPT to create user personas faster, competitive analysis faster, mid-fidelity design faster, and that is exactly what this tutorial will teach you. So when it comes to the actual design process, the first step we begin usually is research, and there are two variables at this phase that I use ChatGPT for. The first one is actually finding the user persona. So here is basically the kind of the data I already have, and I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to generate me a response.
A few moments later.
So look at what I fed into ChatGPT. The thing I did is I basically wrote down the person I interviewed kind of, and I gave them the pain points such as they suffer from, let's say, being slow, and they suffer from basically having lacking productivity tools when they are using our software, and this is kind of what ChatGPT generated to me. So instead of me just typing these down on my own, documenting, it took less than 30 seconds for it to generate, and I can just copy and paste it on my document. This is creating a user persona so much faster than I have actually done it in the past, and it is also giving me some new ideas. For example, I actually wrote it to have, hey, they are trying to be faster, but ChatGPT understood they probably want to be faster so they can serve more clients, so that they can actually make more money. So it also increased the amount of goals I gave it, and it also made pretty good assumptions here. So not only does it help you generate your deliverable user persona faster, it is giving you amazing insights that you can use to actually improve your work. So the next deliverable I usually have in the research phase is to create a competitive analysis based on the most popular competition our company has around our product, so I can actually find out what kind of user experience they have. So let's say we want to use ChatGPT to give us some kind of an idea about what our competitors are like. So here's the dummy data I will use. Okay.
A few moments later.
So what I did is I actually gave it the kind of the industry I'm going for. I wanted to list the top 5 competitors, and I'm locationally restricting it, let's say for USA and Canada, and then I can do two things. I could actually let it compare and contrast on its own without giving it a, let's say, list of attributes. But I could also basically give it a list of attributes I wanted to judge on. So I can say, once we are done with the research phase, the next deliverable I have usually is to have a low fidelity or mid fidelity prototype so I can begin testing for usability. The biggest hurdle for me at this point is the information architecture and the whole workflow that we need, and ChatGPT can actually make this a lot faster. So let's see how it goes. I am here, and what I want ChatGPT is to basically, given my prompt of the kind of the mobile app we are working for, I want it to give me a sample workflow of screens that would be most important for me to design. So let's go. So let's say
a few moments later.
I gave it the input, and then it is giving me the necessary screens I need, and it is telling me what kind of things that has to be in that screen and what it's trying to actually do. And initially, even finding a workflow that actually solves the problem, maybe not optimally, is a huge start. It is very good here that it is giving us the workflow here, and something I can go do here is, if I want to learn more about the workflow, I can make it go deeper in each step.
A few moments later.
So let's say I didn't understand particularly which part of the workflow wouldn't work, let's say the step 5, and then it can go deeper and deeper, and this would give me each of the screens in the preview. Now, when it comes to high fidelity design, the best way I found to use ChatGPT to save me time is to actually let it help me generate the states I will need in my application. Because the most time loss that I have is I created basically the high fidelity design, I prototype it, and the developer comes to me and asks, hey, how does the design work when this problem arises? Let's say the error state, or empty state, or let's say feedback state. So those are kind of the things that actually make me lose a lot of time, because once you build the prototype, it is very hard to come back and change it because you have to change the connections, and it is just a nightmare. So let's see how this goes. So the moment I am in High-Fidelity Design, I actually ask for a checklist. So, hey,
A few moments later.
so I give the ChatGPT the prompt. I am kind of telling him what kind of the features the app has, but I am also kind of giving it what the app's user is and what kind of a software it is, so it has a better idea. Now it is generating states for most of these, let's say, views, and then we have the camera states, able to take photos, able to switch, and these are some of the states that I might need. And what I would do is I would basically check if I meet all these criteria before I move on to the prototyping phase. The check is especially important so that we can save time before prototyping, so that later on it doesn't become a huge hassle. Hey guys, if you love this video about how to use ChatGPT for the whole design process, you will especially love this video about how to use it specifically for high fidelity design.